Yesterday, CBS News reporter asked Joe Biden if he watched any of the Ketanji Brown Jackson confirmation hearings a week ago. Joe Biden said no, he didn't, which is a direct contradiction of a soundbite I'm about to play you. But then he's like, and can you believe they asked like the definition of a woman? That's such a wacky question. Of course that was a great question. And don't forget, Ketanji Brown Jackson, who will be a Supreme Court justice, couldn't answer the question. Take a listen.
And did you get any chance to watch much of the Judiciary Committee hearings?
I didn't get a chance to see any of it, unfortunately.
The fact that Republicans were questioning Judge Jackson on matters like former sentences related to child pornography cases or the definition of a woman, does that, as the former chairman of the Judiciary Committee, make sense to you?
Look, this is one of the most qualified nominees ever nominated for the Supreme Court.
The president watched portions of Judge Jackson's hearing yesterday and today and is proud of the way she is showcasing her extraordinary qualifications, her experience, and her even-handedness.
This administration needs to have like a daily conference call.
No idea who that
everyone's
guy
on
is,
the
by the
same
way,
page.
either.
I don't know if he's filling in for Jen Psaki. I'm not sure, but they really all need to get on the same page, get their talking points right.
Agreed. Rick, is the president lying? Again, is he lying? Or, and I mean this in the most serious way, does he not remember?
Yeah, the comms team, the White House, those around him are trying to project that Joe Biden is efficient, effective. He's a great leader, a great president. And what happens is once Joe Biden gets up to talk and tells you the truth, I didn't watch the hearings, I didn't do this, I did say this, that contradicts what the White House is trying to create a message. And what that shows is a sign that they are not in lockstep, and more importantly, that they're not necessarily informing Biden on everything that they're doing. And that is the danger.
Wow.
So when you see these contradictions, that for me is the most concerning part about, does Biden really know what his aides are doing? The kingmakers are becoming the king.
Yeah, that's a great point. And, yesterday, I'm sure Joe Biden got on Air Force One and it was nappy time when he was on his way over to Belgium last week. But is Joe Biden lying, or does he not remember that, yes, he watched some of the hearings last week? Don't forget those hearings took place almost every single day last week. Did he catch a moment?
Yeah. Are they informing him and he just may not remember what
and by the way,
say? I don't know.
Back to the question that CBS News reporter asked. He's like, Mr. President, they kept asking about like the way she would sentence child pornographers. That's not a big deal, right? It's a little porn, not a big deal. Of course you're going to go through this woman's record. She's about to be nominated to the Supreme Court, confirmed by the Senate. Of course you've got to go through her record. It's totally preposterous to me. Panel, good stuff.